Morning guys, we're all set for another day of exploring and adventure. However, the first thing we're going to tackle today is getting food from the supermarket, because buying and eating out is expensive and I don't want to do it anymore. So let's do that. Let's go back, make some breakfast, finish me washing, and then we'll go explore more of Prague. Alright guys, so our haul at the supermarket, we got eggs, sausages, mushrooms, noodles, bread. What else did we get? Something else. It came up to a total of 229 krona, which translates to £8.15. I mean, I've got a full bag, so I'm pleased with that. In that we've got 2 meals, 3 breakfasts. Yeah, so onwards and upwards. Alright people, so since this morning I found out the butter I bought was not butter at all. I made breakfast, found out the toaster doesn't work, so I had to try and toast the bread with a frying pan. That failed. There was no cooking oil, so my eggs got sucked to the pan. I then waited over an hour for my clothes to dry, but we are out. We are adventuring. I've made some notes on my handy little map that the people gave me, and we're going to go try and find some stuff to do. We're going to head towards the river and see where we go from there. Alright guys, so you find me at the river that runs through Czechia, which is called, hang on, Vltava. I've definitely butchered that. But this is the longest river in Czechia, Czech Republic, we call it that. It's the longest river, spanning 31 kilometres. It is, sorry. So the river itself has 18 bridges, one of them back there, and helps provide a riverside community apparently, so thank you for that, Wikipedia. And yeah, now hang on, now providing that they are within a reasonable budget, I may try and get them one of these river boats, but if they are not, I will edit this bit out and we'll pretend that it wasn't part of the plan. So we'll see how that goes. Right, so this one here leaves in about 40 minutes. It's 380, whatever the currency is here, which is about 13 quid. 13 quid's not bad, I'll take that. Yeah, so all I've got to do is I've got to sit around, probably going to put some sun cream on because I'm starting to burn. And yeah, we'll be all along the river. Provided it's not already pre-booked. I have just turned up and just assumed that they're going to let me on. So, yeah, we'll catch up when we're on the boat if we get on it. So as I sit here waiting for the boat, I just wanted to throw out some consumer advice. When I googled these boats, the cheapest price that TripAdvisor advised me was £16, whereas I've come here and it works out at £13.50-ish. So, some advice: if you're travelling, you're trying to save money, rather than book through a travel agent, letting agent, whatever, just turn up and have a look yourself, and you might get it cheaper. That's what I did. But obviously, research what it is. Sometimes you have to pre-book, but I'm hoping I don't have to wait. I've just been hit by a stone. Where's that come from? But yeah, some consumer advice for you. First bit of the travel so far, and it's been over a week. While we're on the topic of consumer advice, someone was asking for more details on prices and stuff like that. I say someone, it was my uncle. Maybe some of my current 16 subscribers might want to know this, but so I've been getting the train everywhere, and if you wanted to know how much the tram costs, you pay by time, so you can pay by half an hour, or you can do what I've done, is you get a ticket for 24 hours, which gives you unlimited transport throughout the day. At least I think that's what it does. That is the equivalent of about £5.50. It's 150 kroner. So it probably works out quite well, to be fair. I mean, yesterday I got about 6 trams, mainly because I kept getting on the wrong one and going the wrong way. But all in all, it's probably saved me quite a bit of money. So there's some more consumer advice for you. I'm going to move because this guy's strimming and he keeps hitting me with stones in the head. Alright, so we've made it onto the boat. We've not set off yet. I'm trying to work out how we do set off, because if you can see next to us, we are trapped in by this boat. In fact, we're trapped in by 2 boats, and you can't see from here, but there's a pontoon right in front of us, and it looks like this thing is coming into land. So I may have paid for a boat trip on a boat that can't leave the bank, but we'll roll with it, see how it goes. If not, I could always jump in and swim, but this camper was not waterproof, so we'll take it as it comes. So yeah, it turns out I was on the wrong boat. We are now free of boats and waiting to set off. I assume they're going to wait until more people come so they can get the money out of it. But yeah, it's a nice cool breeze, which is good because I'm starting to burn. But we'll pick up filming once we're underway. So coming up is the Czech Bridge, and on the right, if you watched the last video, is where the viewpoint was, right at the top there. So very pretty. So coming up is the bridge that I found myself on yesterday. This is the historic bridge of Prague, and you've got the watchtower on the end. It's really stunning from this angle. When you get on top of the bridge, it's very touristy. They're selling jewellery, key rings. There's a guy playing the trombone, which if you see my last video, you'll see that. But yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at it. You get a real different view of the city from these boats. It's definitely worth the £13 to get on. Definitely. That was brilliant. So if you are book on that, if you're in Prague, it was riverboat tours. Probably should have took a picture of it. But yeah, 13.50, 45 minutes to an hour. I really enjoyed it. You get to see a real different view of the city from the canal. They had people talking and giving you things, but because I'm viewing it in clips, it's well, you know, it's hard to really show you. Plus, you know, this is to give you the motivation to come and visit. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. We're going to go to our next area. I don't really know what's there. There was a lot of apparent interesting things there. So we're going to walk and we'll see, have a look at some of the stuff along the way. So yeah. So I've just been walking down the street and I found this blacksmith's. Look at all of these. Are all of these things for sale?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can buy this. Can I pick some of them up? Can I pick them up?
Sure.
Yeah. You can buy a sword. Look at this. Look at that. Imagine getting that through customs. Do you make all of these?
It's done by our blacksmiths.
Ah, okay.
Here in Prague.
Yeah, he's right, look at that. Do you sell a lot of things? Or is it more collectors?
Yeah, we do. We have lots of, we have also a shop and we have lots of customer, international and domestic.
Wow. It's really good, these. Look at that.
Careful, it's on the strong magnet.
Yeah. It looks very sharp. Very good. These are brilliant. Well, you can get a rose. You know, I try not to touch as much. I don't want to break anything. But no, this is brilliant. I mean, if I wasn't backpack travelling, I'd probably buy one. I don't know how I get it. Oh, look at them axes. Is a lot of this inspired by like, you know, medieval times where they
Yeah, there are, well, the weapons are historical ones, but everything other is artistic blacksmithry. So
yeah, you've got a lot. No, it's brilliant. All right, well, thank you for letting me look round. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Have a nice day.
Same to you, mate. Thank you. Well, that was a surprise. That was. Hang on. This blacksmith shop. So yeah, that wasn't on my radar, but it's content, isn't it? Let's see where else we can find around here. Just stumbled across this little square. Oh, it looked very nice. I have to remember them to look and not buy. Look at that. I wondered where my old English teacher went to. Still got the same hair. So you've got these fancy buildings. You've got this statue of a naked lady. Doesn't really have much of a sign on it, although there's a lot of cobwebs. And then these. Again, I didn't do much research, I just turn up and go, oh, that looks fun. So I don't know what any of that means, but it looks pretty, very pretty. So let's see what else we can find miles around here. Alright, wait till you get a look at this place. So obviously, first thing you spot is a lot of tourists and restaurants. Look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. You've got this monument in the middle, just there. Behind that is the astronomical clock, apparently. Don't know what that means. But then you've got this here, look. I feel like I'm in a film. Czech flag, European Union flag. Don't see much of that in Britain anymore, thank you. Look at that on top of there. Oh. Brilliant, you got everything here. I believe the one in the far corner over there is a museum. Alright, so this is the Jan Hus Monument, and it was built in 1915, and it was to commemorate a religious reformer, and he was burnt at the stake for speaking out and criticising the Catholic Church. I don't take views on a political stance, so I won't be commenting on that, but it is a brilliant monument. Look at it. This whole square is fantastic. I don't really want to leave. But yeah, that's the information on the Jan Hus. And we'll move on to wherever the next place is. So I'm going to give some more consumer advice. If you're travelling and you're trying to work out how to avoid tourist traps and you know, spending a load of money, I'll give you a hint. If you see shops like Starbucks or McDonald's, run, it's a tourist trap. And usually a big giveaway is lots of tourists. But yeah, some more consumer advice from Dan. I've walked 30 seconds and found this. Look at it. Look at this whole wall. The whole place is like an open museum. Right, so I just spent 5 minutes looking for a miniature village that I thought would be like the one from Hot Fuzz. But actually, it's that. Hey, it looks pretty cool. It looks alright. There's a lot of pigeons around here, as you can tell on the bird muck. So yeah. I was wondering why I was struggling to find it. It's only because it's about half a metre wide. But we move. Right, so the next place is 20-minute walk away, which is great news for my calves and ankles. But what's the point in getting a bus when you can walk through the city? Also, it's walking that made me find the metal workshop, blacksmith shop. So we'll see if there's anything else interesting on the way. Probably. This city is quite fascinating. There's almost something in every corner at this point. So yeah, on we walk. Yeah, just wanted to add that one of the things I noticed, especially in that tourist bit, is you don't know where you're going. Well, I don't anyway. You're just walking along and discover things. But 3 times I was sort of, excuse me, we're trying to take a photo. Well, for that I've got 2-word response for you, and one of them is off. Right? Just wait a minute. If I see you taking a phone, I'll stop and stand, but don't get all harsh with me. What do you want me to do? I'm just walking. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Just thought I'd share that with you. Well, here we are again. Got some of these crazy puppet looking things. Look at him. Oh. I really hope you're not just staring at my reflection, because this will be really irritating. And again, another fancy building. Honestly, Prague is just like a non-stop museum. Why would you pay to go in anywhere? There's all this artwork everywhere, it's mad. So I was just walking along, minding my own business, and then I spotted people taking photos. So I looked, I was like, what's here? There's nothing. And look, got a little girl reading a book. Well, let's test the zoom out on this thing. How cool's that? If people weren't taking photos, I'd have never spotted that. You've also got this weird tree looking thing here. Don't know what any of that means, but yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. So I just come across this other monument to something. Very nice. So as I walk over to my next point of interest, I wanted to share a little story. I've just I've just seen a few young people riding past on Lime bikes, and it always reminds me of a story. So before like the Lime bike, there was something called the Mo bike. It was very popular in Europe. Worked the same. You download an app, you find a bike, you pay to ride it, and then you can leave it wherever it is, and someone else can find the bike. I think that's what the Lime bike is. So anyway, I just wanted to share that when it came to Manchester was historic in the fact that it was the quickest city to have the motorbike taken away, because people would come, they'd go, oh, I'd use the app, I'll track where my bike is, and they'd get there, and their bike would be at the bottom of a canal, entangled round a roundabout, or in pieces. Now, I don't endorse petty crime or vandalism, but I think it's typical of Manchester that either it's the worst thing or the best thing, we're number one at either of it, at any of them. So we're either the best or the worst, and it just shows a sort of unique thinking that goes on in the brain of a Mancunian. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. I wasn't really going to film the pedalos because they don't really interest me. You can't do a one-man pedalo, but I thought it was pretty cool that the pedalo area has got a bar right in the middle of it. If you can see the pink thing in the middle, so you can paddle up to it and get yourself a drink, an ice cream. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks very peaceful out there, but I've been on a pedalo before. I did one in Spain and it did not go terribly well, so I will be doing that. But yeah, if you're interested, you can pedalo down the canal in Prague. So I've walked 20 minutes to this island of it's called Streleki Ostrov. It's very beautiful. You see trees all around. You've got some nice places, but the reason I've come here particularly is because, if I can pan my camera down there, this island has beavers. Look at him. How great is he? I've never seen a beaver in real life. Let's have a look. He looks beautiful, doesn't he? Apparently there's more beavers on this island, but this is the first one I've seen. You also get ducks. I like ducks. I like them alive. I like them with pancakes and hoisin sauce. But yeah. So it's called Streleki Ostrov if anyone in Prague wants to come and see a beaver. So it turns out the island where you can find beavers is also called Archer's Island, for anyone that was wondering. Maybe that's what the translation was, but I just thought I'd share that with people who are come to Prague and are thinking of looking for it. So, yeah. Right, so you find me at the next destination, which is a park called Havlik Sade, or Havliki Sade. So far it looks very pretty. Let's see what else is here. Anything interesting? Let's go.
A než po nažení sem, tady cestu.
Hello. So I'm inside the pod that I've rented. I just thought I'd give you a quick tour of where I'm staying. So this is my bed. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. I've got all my stuff out everywhere, but it's nice and comfy. It's weird living in a box. Feels a bit like a coffin, but I get privacy, which is what I like. I've got all my wall stuff. I've got a step down here somewhere. Yeah, that I've just thrown everything on. That's my door. It's pretty small, but I've got lights. I've got air conditioning. All in all, it's great. I love it. I'm in here till Saturday, which is in a few days. But yeah, hopefully in a bit I'll show you around the rest of the hostel, because it is miles better than the last one. They've got their own pub, they've got their own garden, they've got activities, they've got everything. It's brilliant. Alright, well I'll show you around there later, but for now I'm going to get ready to go out, so peace. So one of the best bits about this hostel is that it's got its own bar. I mean, look at it. It's got bean bags. It's got a dartboard, but obviously a bar. And there's a foosball table. Further in the back they got a kitchen with cutlery, pans, kettle, which is a lot better than the last hostel. I've also got laundry facilities, but there's one washer and dryer for the whole building, so not great. And yeah, hopefully I'll show you a bit more of the hostel as we continue. I'm just sat here editing in a minute, and I thought I'd take this moment to show you a bit more of the hostel. So this is the hostel courtyard, which is very nice. It's a nice place to sit. It's got all these awnings and stuff. Yeah. So if you want to meet people, this is where to be. Well, it's quite quiet now, that's why I'm filming. Alright guys, so we're going to do cooking in a hostel. All you need for this meal is some random stuff I picked together and water boiling in a pot. I've already got that boiling. First we need to cut mushrooms and the sausage. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you turn the right hob on, or else you'll be knackered. So once you have sliced up your mushrooms, you need to slice up your sausages. I like to go diagonal, nice thick slices for mine, like this. So once your water is simmering, you then just add the noodles to the bowl like that. So now that our noodles are cooking nicely, we're going to start with the sausages and the mushrooms. So we're going to heat that pan up nicely, and then we're going to use butter, which is what I didn't have this morning, which is why I ruined my dinner. We'll use that instead of oil because I'm not paying for a litre of cooking oil. I'm leaving it here. So once all of your butter is melted, that's when you add your mushrooms. So once your noodles are ready, you can drain that off, like so. You want to save a bit of water, and you'll see why for that in a little bit. So once your mushrooms are partially done, you can then start to add your sausages. You want to add them halfway through so you don't overcook them. Obviously I wanted to do this like Gordon Ramsay, but I didn't really want to swear. It's probably more Jamie Oliver style, where he just cooks things and doesn't really know what he's doing. He just pretends it's a meal. Oh yeah, we just dash this in, it'll be alright. We'll call it a spag bowl. I could do the Nigella Lawson way, but I don't really do drugs. I could have gone Gino de Campo, but I don't really want to distress any of the young women in here. I was going to do Ainsley Harriott, but I think he gets a bit too R-rated with his food, so I've gone, oh yeah. Yeah, boy. And that's not really what I am. So now we're going to add one of our seasoning sachets to the meat and mushroom mixture. Just give that a stir around, make sure it's not all stuck to the bottom. So this is why you saved a little bit of your water, just to take any of the seasonings that get stuck to the bottom of the pan. Because butter has a lower burn rate, so you start to lose that anti-stick that it does, as oil. So you should use a bit of water to get the sauce off the bottom of the pan. You add your noodles. Now finally, you add your last bit of seasoning. Right, and then all you have to do now is add your meal to your plate. All right. So this is the meal I've made. It has no name. But all in all, it's probably cost me less than £2 to make. I've got the same for tomorrow. But if you're on a budget, you're in a hostel and you've got cooking facilities, it's really easy to make something that's going to be substantial. It's probably not the healthiest food, but there wasn't very much in the penny shop, so that's Penny, the brand, not the... It's not everything was a penny, it's not that cheap. But yeah, I'm going to eat my food and then we'll finish this video. Alright guys, I'm just sat here editing and I realised I never finished my last vlog. So, if you remember, we were doing budgeting and consumer advice. So, I'll break down the cost of what I spent while I was filming this last video. I spent £8.15 shopping, an additional £1.77 on butter. I used a Bolt to get back to the hostel that evening at 7:76. While I was out, I bought some drinks, waters, bottle of Coke. That was £3.17. And I had to treat myself to lunch at £12.19 for that salad. It's a very nice salad, but yeah. I spent £5.27 on a all-day tram ticket, which is very helpful. Now, when I came back to the hostel, they had the France-Morocco game on, so I thought I'd sit and watch that. And I bought 5 pints, but luckily they only cost a total of £6.61. So in total, I spent £45.49. So it's an improvement on what I've been spending, but it could still be better. I hope you found this video helpful. Please remember to like, subscribe, and until later, I'll see you in the next one.